What's up guys, Kevin Cage here with another crypto update. Hope everybody's doing well. We're going to keep this video short and sweet and run through some recent news. So first up for Ripple, shared by Monica Long, she's the president over at Ripple. We have a new customer, Latin America's largest exchange, Mercado Bitcoin, joins Ripple Payments. So using their solution to support its treasury operations between Brazil and Portugal with more payment types to come. So according to this article shared by Monica, going over this partnership should allow companies to use blockchain tech to facilitate international payments, going over the benefits of faster, cheaper, and more efficient and secure manner. We have right here Latin American director at Ripple with their comments on Ripple payments and their benefits right there. And one big advantage right here of this solution for cross-border payments is the use of blockchain technology, which allows transactions 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we know previously that Ripple already launched ODL or on-demand liquidity a while back in Brazil involving international transactions, cross-border payments with the TravelX Bank partnership. And I know this was a while ago, but what's interesting about this is that TravelX Bank was the first bank registered and approved by the Central Bank of Brazil to operate exclusively in the foreign exchange market and operate in more than 20 countries. We can also see right here more than $780 million in payments are sent to Brazil each year. So coming back to this article that was shared yesterday by Monica Long, we can see today we are launching a new version that offers the same benefits of our ODL solution, faster, more efficient, and more cost-competitive payments, but with improvements such as faster onboarding and full access to the breadth of Ripple Payments Network. Rather than working at the technology layer, Ripple is now in the money flow, which means we can now manage and settle payments for our customers. So looking forward to see what else comes out of Brazil. Now we have to dive into this because yesterday the SEC appealed the federal court's ruling on Ripple specifically over the sale of the XRP token. Here we have some comments from Brad Garlinghouse and Stuart Alderati. He's the chief legal officer over at Ripple, so we can see referring to the SEC, they still haven't gotten the message. They lost on everything that matters. Ripple, the crypto industry, and the rule of law have already prevailed. While we fight in court for as long as we need, let's be clear, XRP status as a non-security is the law of the land today, and that does not change even in the face of this misguided and infuriating appeal. And the most important thing he says is right here. Remember when the SEC tried unsuccessfully to file an interlocutory appeal, they made clear that they had no intention of challenging XRP status as a non-security. So of course there's tons of speculation going on, and even Stuart highlights a few interesting things that happened or coincidences in air quotes, and right now, at least how I understand it, is the SEC is just being picky, they're trying to give trouble, and they're really just trying to appeal and get some money from Ripple. So I saw commentary from Fred Rispoli along with Anders sharing Jeremy Hogan, two attorneys or experts in the space related to this. Let's go through this. So from Fred, we have the SEC vs. Ripple appellate timeline for anybody interested, looking at these dates extending into 2025, potentially even 2026. Now remember, these dates are over the sales of the XRP token by Ripple. And remember, Brad said this, let's be clear, XRP status as a non-security is the law of the land today, and that does not change even in the face of this misguided appeal. And right here we have Anders underlining some important points by Jeremy Hogan, initial thoughts on the SEC appeal. Big mistake by the SEC. Ripple will raise its blue sky law issue, and if it wins, the SEC's ability to regulate the entire crypto space is essentially destroyed. Even if the SEC were to win on appeal, it's very, very likely just a matter of money. Nothing would change as to XRP and its use by Ripple, so that's good. And most important thing is it will not and cannot be appealing that XRP is not a security. Now, I'm sure sentiment is all over the place, but just remember recently with Bitwise filing right here for the XRP ETP. And even Credible Crypto right here, yes, I'm aware of the SEC appeal on the Ripple case, but at the same time, in the last 12 hours, seemingly unbeknownst to a lot of crypto Twitter, Bitwise just filed for an XRP ETF. I've shared clips before of Brad Garlinghouse showing his confidence that we see XRP spot ETFs in 2025. And just looking at the 2 times in history that XRP has pumped thus far, it has been timed with alt season or major moves from Bitcoin leading the way. So Bitcoin dominance crashes, Bitcoin creates higher highs, XRP here did over a 500x, during this cycle, during the lawsuit, it did over a 10x. So I have these exact same dates lined up with the previous 2 alt seasons. We've yet to have another alt season. So do fundamentals play a role in the overall narratives and the market sentiment? Absolutely, but at least looking at history, the only 2 times that XRP pumped or drew retracements is during the crash of Bitcoin dominance and Bitcoin creating higher highs. Have we seen a crash of Bitcoin dominance? No, we have not. We are waiting for Bitcoin dominance to find its top. And have we seen Bitcoin's first major move, that first monthly candle like in the previous cycles here, and then all the way back here? No, we have not. So per usual, none of this is financial advice. I just believe if we get confirmation of another cycle with Bitcoin's first major move in the future or the crash of Bitcoin dominance, I believe that XRP takes off. So did this appeal yesterday change my mind whatsoever on what I'm looking at on the charts, looking on the monthly and the weekly time frame? Not at all. So not financial advice, but we either get another large liquidity cycle or go into a bear market. I believe we are in a setup for another large liquidity cycle, specifically after elections. So what do the price charts of a variety of altcoins, including XRP, do until this time as Bitcoin is still ranging? Are they going to crash? Do they trend sideways? Do they even retrace a little bit? Or are they going to end up lagging? Your guess is as good as mine, which is why I'm awaiting for official confirmation. As I've shared in previous videos, either seeing the first major move for Bitcoin well over $80,000, over $84,000 would be breaking the diminishing returns of the previous cycles, or the first large crash of Bitcoin dominance around a 10% drop compared to the previous cycles. We see either of those or both of those, then I get super excited, but until then we're just ranging. I also saw a really interesting video by Patrick Bet David, I believe it was recent, discussing the interest rate cut we just had, and then discussing the coming recession. I believe within the next 18 months, so anytime between now and the next year and a half, and I'm very open to that. I just hope that we get another liquidity cycle, the crypto asset class explodes, and then there's profit taking later. So friendly reminder, I am fully aware of my own bias. I just don't want to see a bear market right now. I don't think that would make sense for the altcoin market. I think it would make a lot more sense, explained in the previous video, of us going much higher first, getting liquidity into the system before another large bear market. And I'm not making fun of the bears at all, I just have my own bias. We know the S&P 500 has skyrocketed to an all-time price, but this is not all the companies in the S&P. The companies responsible for taking the S&P 500 to an all-time high are just 7 companies. So when we're looking at the Russell 2000, typically a good indicator for global liquidity as M2 has been rising, this is not skyrocketed like the S&P. The S&P has 7 companies that took it there. So as I've shared before, the small cap 2000 index, the Russell 2000, is actually really similar to the total crypto market cap. Both of these have yet to create an all-time high price. They came up to the 786 and rejected. Whereas a variety of other indices actually created new all-time highs, the Dow Jones, the S&P, the Nasdaq 100, and also gold. So the way I see it is, considering both of their previous cycle tops in November of 2021 was Bitcoin's all-time high price before beginning the bear market. Obviously, if the Russell consolidates, it'll be boring. If we crash, then I'm more so bearish on crypto. If we actually break into an all-time high price in line with liquidity, then I'm very excited for the crypto asset class to go up. And pardon my super ugly drawings. So just looking at Bitcoin, I'll go down from the monthly to the weekly, just awaiting as we are still ranging, no major changes. We'll see if we come down to this trend line or get our first major move sooner than later, but just looking at this. And historically, remember, when the Bitcoin price chart goes down and Bitcoin dominance goes up, alts get hammered and they go a lot lower. However, when Bitcoin draws major moves, the Bitcoin dominance price chart crashes. That leads to alt season. Next up, we have iTrustCapital linked in the top of the YouTube video description. They just announced the addition of 6 new assets, including Render, Near Protocol, we have Toncoin, WIF, Pepe, and Bonk. Besides crypto assets, I do hold some gold in my iTrustCapital account. I know some may prefer to hold physical metal, which is totally fine because I own physical silver. Hoping silver can actually, rip past $50 for once, because this has been a long wait. Obviously, it's been doing well since 2020. And side note, I do always fantasize about some of the huge predictions for gold and silver in the future. We'll see if we actually get those. We'll finish up today's video with 2 more things. So shared by Cointelegraph, we had yesterday, Visa launches platform for managing tokenized digital assets. So yesterday, Visa unveiled VTAP, a platform supporting various tokenized assets, signaling a deeper move into the crypto space as adoption grows. And obviously, every time I see this, I think of BCG's tokenization estimate of $16 trillion by 2030. We'll do one more thing shared by Anders because this is very relevant. So upcoming changes to stablecoin support in the European Economic Area. So stablecoin regulations in the European Union going into full effect, and from last December it seems Coinbase will only deal with compliant stablecoins in the European Economic Area, including USDC and EURC, or the Eurocoin. And per usual, obviously be very careful with Tether. So definitely see a huge focus on the US dollar and the euro in the MiCA regulation, or the MiCA framework in the European Union, and looking forward to see what other fiat currencies they're going to be adding. Referring to which other stablecoins are going to be achieving compliance under this MiCA framework in the EU. Because we're aware of the big predictions for the stablecoin market cap in the future, which is bigger than the entire crypto asset class today, and this can be a bunch of added liquidity and on and off ramps to traditional finance. If you enjoyed this video, please consider hitting the like button and sharing your thoughts down below. As always, you can find all links, including resources for charting, trading bots, platforms, wallets, portfolio trackers, and exclusive discounts in my link tree at the top of the video description. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.